Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the newly updated 2024 Subaru Impreza in the new RS trim. And in this video, I'm going to take this $32,000 all-wheel drive car out, see how it drives, take you on a tour of it, and see if maybe you would want to buy this over something like that Chevy Trailblazer I checked out at the Detroit Auto Show. Stay tuned. All right, Gearheads, before we get too far into this one, I do want to say a huge thank you to Jeremy Jones and the team at Peltier Subaru here in Tyler, Texas. If you're in the East Texas area and this vehicle appeals to you, go see Jeremy. Let him know Corey from GT Garage Talk sent you, because this is a pretty fun car. Now that I've got the hood open, I can talk about what is underneath the hood. And sadly, for anyone in motorsport who really knows what RS stands for, this little 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer engine really doesn't live up to that RS name. The RS package is unfortunately more or less a appearance package in this one. Here, the 2.5 boxer makes 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's enough in this small, lightweight car, but it doesn't really live up to that rally sport name, especially with a brand with the heritage in rally like Subaru. I really would have liked to see just a little bit more. It is paired to a Lineartronic CVT, or continuously variable transmission, and it does put power down to all four wheels with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive and their active torque vectoring. Closing the hood, we can talk a little bit more about styling. For 2024 and up, all Imprezas are hatchbacks, because the WRX, which started out as a trim of the Impreza, is Subaru's small four-door sedan in the lineup. So Imprezas are all hatchbacks 2024 and up, and this really rides on a shared non-lifted platform with the Crosstrek. This really is the more car-ified version of the Crosstrek, and that Crosstrek being the best seller of the Subaru bunch. Given that it is basically a car version of the Crosstrek, you get all the same updates that we saw on the Crosstrek we recently had. We get LED lights up front, LED turn signals, fog lights, bigger, bolder, more pronounced grille, a little more masculine, squared off, aggressive styling all the way around. All the black accents are part of the RS package, which include these wheels. I don't believe Subaru actually calls them black. I think they call them dark gray, but you do get these black wheels wrapped in Yokohama tires. They are Yokohama Avid S34 tires, if that means anything to you. But I'll go ahead and pull in here and show you they are 255/40 or 18-inch rubber wrapped around these 18-inch gray wheels. Four-wheel disc brakes all the way around on this one, so it does have the confidence of all-wheel drive and four-wheel disc brakes to help you stop in this one if you're having fun. And yes, trust me, these tire marks were here before the Subaru Impreza RS got here. Coming around to the side, you can see, like I said, all models are hatchbacks. It really is just a lower version of the Crosstrek, very similar in every dimension and every angle and every line on this vehicle. It very much resembles a lower Crosstrek, a non-lifted Crosstrek, which isn't a bad thing. It is a handsome vehicle all the way around. Coming around to the back, we don't get all LED lights like we do up front, but we do get some. So the brake lights are LEDs, but you can see those turn signals are incandescent. We get Subaru Symmetrical all-wheel drive badging here on the left, and the Impreza RS here on the right. Coming down, again, going with the kind of appearance package of that RS, you get kind of like a sport diffuser back here on the back, but nothing really pronounced. No cutouts for the exhaust, which you can see is a little turn down there on the passenger side. And then opening the hatch, it is a manually opening hatch. You do get an impressive amount of cargo space, more than a similar car would get back here in the back. And our model does have the retractable cargo shade here. I like when brands put retractable shades instead of those hard plastic or carpet covered ones. It's a nice touch. You can see the center seat belt actually retracts and goes into the side pillar here, unlike older models where it's coming from the ceiling and obstructing your view. So that's a nice touch. And it does have a place here that you can store it if you have it disconnected, so that you can fold these 60/40 split bench rear seats down. They do fold very easily, but you can only do it from this pin right here on the side. I'll go ahead and flip that side down because they flip and fold very nicely. We have the optional all-weather cargo mat back here, which is a nice touch, and it is actually connected between the rear cargo area and the seats, so you don't lose a bunch of crumbs in between the seats and the cargo area. That's a nice touch. I know Subaru prides themselves on being dog-friendly and things like that, so this would be a very good place to help gear your pooch if you go out on a hike with your pooch or something, and unhook all those things because you've got all the cargo mats and everything down here. Interesting, you've got a couple cup holders back here. Not quite sure what you do with that. Underneath the cargo area, there is a little bit more storage down here with some foam, so that'll help with some sound deadening, so it's not so loud out on the road. And then you can see all your stuff for changing a flat tire is up underneath the further part. We've got all our dealer accessories on this one back here, so I'm actually going to leave those for the dealer. Like I said, this one could be yours. Coming up under the hatch, I'm 5'10", and I am just underneath it. Like if I stand up fully, I'm touching the hatch. It's really nice, very easy to get in and close. One of the advantages of a manual hatch is you can just get in really quickly, close it, and be done with it. So on a small vehicle like this, I actually prefer manual hatches over power hatches. Let's check out the inside. Before we get in this one, I do want to show you the key. Typical Subaru key, just like all their models. Nothing too spectacular here. It is a proximity key. We've got lock. Unlock is the logo, your hatch release, and a panic button. You can deploy a physical key back here, but you can just keep it in your pocket, your purse, wherever. It is a little on the bulky side, but not too bad. You can see you can lock it by pressing right there and unlock it by pushing on the back of the door right there. A fairly nice interior on this one. This is another advantage of getting the RS trim, is the two-tone cloth seats in here, or really tri-tone. There's a lot of work going on the seats, but we're actually going to start over here on the door really quickly. We've got the cloth on the door panel and some simulated leather and stitching. It is a nice armrest and a nice door panel. No fake carbon fiber like on some of their Crosstrek models, which is okay. Auto up down on the front windows, but not the back. Window lockout, mirror controls. This one does come with a Harman Kardon sound system, but unfortunately we won't be putting that one to the test here in this video. Coming around and sitting inside, I'll close the door, put my foot on the brake, fire it up. Again, that little 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder is what powers this thing. Over my left knee, brightness control. That's it. A couple of dead panels, nothing else here. And then you get analog gauges with a little helper screen there in the middle. Very typical of Subaru vehicles. Part sharing here again on the steering wheel. It is leather wrapped, but this is not the nicest leather wrapped steering wheel. It feels almost like a polyurethane wheel. It's not bad, it's just what you get in a $32,000 car. You get a lot of controls for your adaptive cruise, for your radio controls, your buttons right here for SI drive, which we'll talk about when this thing is in motion. New infotainment system in this one, 11.6-inch Starlink infotainment. Really nice. You do get physical controls for your dual zone climate control and your volume and tuning knobs. That's a big win for me. The things you're going to need most, please give me a hard button for it, because when you do something like put it in reverse, you can see some of those controls go away, and you have your backup camera, which does not take advantage of the full screen. That's okay. But if you put it in reverse, having a volume knob is really nice to be able to turn it down if you need to. Lots of interesting materials in here that just break up the monotony of color or lack thereof in some other vehicles. We do have a Qi wireless charger, USB-A and USB-C that are clearly marked how quickly they charge here. These both interface with the infotainment system, so if you plug in here, you can still interface, but I do believe it also has the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get an auxiliary jack, manual or mechanical lever here for putting that CVT into gear. I like that a lot. We do have heated front seats here, 2-mode heated front seats, electronic parking brake, a couple cup holders with a spacer for taller or shorter drinks that you can remove. Power outlet right here. Center console that's very deep, but not lined with felt, so you put something in here, it's gonna kind of rattle around. The lid stays in place without flopping down, which is a nice touch. And then let's talk about these seats. I really like the attention to detail on these seats. They are comfortable. You've got some nice bolsters here, but all the different colors in here. Subaru very easily could have made this a black on black on black interior, but they didn't. So we've got this very dark gray here, light gray here, red accents with a little bit of black worked in, so it's not a solid red. And then this kind of fishnet interior section is all three colors worked in one. You've got dark gray, light gray, and red. It is a very nice look. It just gives you a very distinct interior here on the Impreza RS. Coming to me, I've got plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. I can get very comfortable here. I will note this is a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel, so I could get that exactly where I want it, but headroom is pretty good for me at 5'10". We do have a standard size sunroof here, no panoramic roof, which is nice, comes in handy, but let's pop into that back and see what the back seat is like. All right, coming up to the back seat, I will note there are no passive entry mechanisms here on this door handle. You can't lock or unlock it, so if you need to get in the back for a kiddo, you're gonna have to unlock it from the front door first, but that's okay. Coming in here, you see the back seats get the same treatment as those front seats, but the seat backs themselves are decidedly less bolstered than the front seats. If you're going to be driving this thing any sportingly whatsoever, you'll want to be up front for sure. Nice carpeted floor mats in this one. Being that it is all-wheel drive, you do get a large hump there in the middle for the drive shaft going to the rear wheels. But popping in behind myself, you can see plenty of room behind the front seat where I sit at 5'10". Passenger seat has a map pocket, but the front does not. And again, we get your choice of USB-A or USB-C back here. I already showed you the split folding mechanism, and you can see this center seat belt does actually detach. It is a rather narrow center seat, but does have a fold down armrest with a couple cup holders, so that's nice. An adjustable headrest if somebody's gonna be riding here that's a little bit taller. So that is also nice. And we do have very easy to see and access lower child seat anchors here in this one that are covered by some cloth with some Velcro. You can see the center seat has one, so you'll need to be borrowing from another if you choose to do it, but we did have top tethers all the way across. Seeing what I look like sitting back here, just like the front seat, plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. I'm actually very comfortable back here in the back seat, but that's enough of the tour. Let's go behind the wheel and see how that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder performs in this small little hatchback. All right, getting in and setting off in the Impreza RS. This is a fun little vehicle, and I assume the reason you're shopping the Impreza from the get-go is you want a car, you want it to be affordable, and you want all-wheel drive for its benefits in traction. All of which, well, you absolutely get here with the RS trim. You just get the added benefit of the style from the interior where, let's face it, you're spending all your time. So get an interior you like and feel comfortable with. And the exterior styling options on this one with those dark wheels and just the contrast. I'm going to tell you right now, every time you start the vehicle, it starts up in iDrive, and this CVT, it's all right. It's not the wet blanket that every single CVT is that I've driven outside of the brand. I'm looking at you, Honda, but let's go ahead and put it in S mode, take this corner, Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. She'll scoot, she'll move. This will be a perfect commuter vehicle for somebody with plenty of room, 19 cubic feet back in the back. A generally comfortable ride. There is a little bit more road noise on this than I would prefer, but again, sub 35,000, your options aren't that expansive. But all around, it is a very comfortable car. The steering is rather quick, but not overly tight, so it's very easy to point the vehicle in the direction that you want to go, and it would make a great vehicle to be stuck in traffic in, school pickup lines, things like that. It's not going to feel too heavy to maneuver around at slow speeds, and it's not so floaty that you feel like you have to drive it with your fingertips at high speeds. It's a good mix. And then of course, Subaru's got their full suite of driver assistance tech in this, with their EyeSight cameras and just everything that they've got baked in that makes a Subaru a Subaru. I'm still trying to get one of these for a full week to test here on the channel, where we put Tugger's child safety seat in the back, where we let Holly get behind the wheel and tell you her driving impressions and what she thinks of the styling, all of that. If you want to see more stuff from us here on the channel, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell if you're watching on YouTube. Be sure and follow along. We're on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go over to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in a quick spin here in the 2024 Subaru Impreza RS, until next time, gearheads, bye.